What is something the United States of America is better than any other country? Build aircraft carriers. The US built 151 aircraft carriers during World War II. 151. That was just aircraft carriers. The sheer military production during World War II was insane. I've heard from others our air conditioning is top-notch. The system of national parks. National parks. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The parks are such an underrated American thing. It's the one unnecessary government function that no one complains about. Everyone can enjoy and brings tourism from all over the world. Not to mention the views. Glacier NP in the spring will make you a believer. Apparently the US produces the most crude oil. Cultural assimilation. Pretty much anything you can think of from anywhere in the world, we've got it here. Somewhere. Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, Nigerian, Korean, French, etc. If you like the food, music, literature, religion, whatever, you can find it here. Outside of national parks, this is my favorite thing about living here. I love getting exposure to and learning from so many cultures different from my own. It's expensive to travel to other countries, but I can get a sense in my own backyard. I was born in Europe and moved to the US as a young teen. The US gets assimilation really well. Like, you become part of some group fairly quickly and there are many to pick from. In Europe we had two boys in school. One from the US and one from India. Those kids got picked on for years and years. They never ever were going to be considered to be one of us, and never will. The US has this thing where if you play a sport and win as a team, or get through something difficult together like a math competition, or a science lab, or play in a band that sounded good, suddenly you are one of everyone else. I had never experienced that before. It felt good. Absolutely this. My grandparents were destitute Asian immigrants on one side, and the other side had a land grant from the King of England dated 1642. My parents met, married, and had us kids. We are considered 100% American. Nobody questions our parentage, our heritage, our cultural background. My little southern town has Greek festival, a Filipino food truck that is the absolute best, pizzerias and soul food joints, and they all serve French fries. We casually assimilate everything and make it work. Cybersecurity. I just recently learned that the United States of America is the top gold standard in all things cybersecurity. I was actually a little surprised. Entertainment. Americans love to be entertained. We spend more money on entertainment than anybody anywhere. That's all kinds of entertainment from movies, music concerts, amusement parks and even smaller forms of entertainment like movie theaters, bars and nightclubs, bowling alleys, laser tag, and even food videos. Cultural imperialism. Soft Power heard a quote once. I love it. China has Kung Fu. China has pandas. China is unable to create Kung Fu Panda. Soft Power. No country does it as well as the US. Despite its many shortcomings, people are drawn to the US. Films, TV, music, food. It's got such a magnetic pull. So much of normal American culture is exported through TV and film, and when people come from other countries, they can't believe utterly mundane things like yellow school buses, green street signs, and fire hydrants aren't just movie props and they are actual real-world items. We have the most Olympic medals, so Olympusing. We're the best at being fat and the best at being fit. Startups. It is so difficult to build a startup-style company as many other countries. In the US it is surprisingly easy to start a company. First off, the way the US government supports startups is so much better than other countries. There are various federal and state programs offering grants, loans, and tax incentives specifically designed for small businesses and startups. But really it is that the regulatory environment is so much more flexible and less bureaucratic, which makes it easier to start and scale a business. Due to our culture and government, we also have a ton of venture capital, with places like Silicon Valley being major hubs for investors looking to fund new ideas. There's also a huge pool of skilled workers, especially in tech and business, thanks to top universities and research institutions. Something else that is undervalued is the culture here strongly emphasizes entrepreneurship and innovation. Taking risks is encouraged, and failure is often seen as just a step on the way to success. That is not something you'll see in most other countries. On top of all this, the US is a massive and wealthy market, giving startups a big customer base right from the start. There are also tons of accelerators, incubators, and mentorship programs available to help startups grow. Advanced tech and physical infrastructure make it easier for startups to operate and scale quickly. The US just fucks when it comes to startups. Hollywood movies. American blockbuster movies are popular all around the world. No other countries produces movies of the same degree of spectacle and quality. Disability protections and accommodations. The ADA is the world's golden standard, and it's not even remotely close. Space exploration. Voyager is the first interstellar space probe in history. Launched 47 years ago and still sending back data. Nobody builds them like NASA. We did the first rendezvous in orbit, the first human missions to the moon, the first reusable space shuttle. The only planets in this solar system we weren't the first to visit are Earth and Venus. We currently have a helicopter and 2 nuclear-powered rovers on Mars, and as we speak we're building the core segments to the first lunar orbiting space station and a nuclear-powered helicopter that's going to Titan. There are 2 agencies in America whose reputation around the world is unimpeachable: the National Park Service and NASA. I'm an American living in Canada. I can tell you with no uncertainty that Americans are just better at hamburgers. I hate the stereotype, but it's true. Even the places here that are allowed to cook their meat to temperature, Canada has strict rules about meat handling. So most places just cook them all well done, don't really understand all of the other stuff that's supposed to go on a good burger. Whole wheat bun with kale is just fucking gross, and I've seen it more than a few times. America just has the right mixture of ignorance of consequences, indulgence, culture, and availability of ingredients that hamburgers are just better. Complimentary water with every meal. And not paying to use a restroom. I just paid €1 to empty my bladder. Logistics. Holy fucking shit, do we do logistics well? Name your item, your point A and point B somewhere on Earth, and the United States could get it done in a day if it was so inclined. When it comes to logistics, the US military alone is the single greatest organization that has ever existed in human history. Our civilian world isn't far behind. Our freight rail is as good as our passenger rail is bad. Use the last of the coffee this morning. Amazon will have a fresh batch at your doorstep before you get back from work. The US having an ice cream ship floating around in the Pacific during World War II is the biggest logistical flex ever. My favorite aspect of this is the Japanese prisoner who realized because we had the resources for an ice cream ship that they could never beat us. Thanks to one of our more badass presidents, Teddy Roosevelt, our national park system is the gift that keeps on giving. 100%. I'm an immigrant from Brazil, and one of the things that always amazes me to no end is the lengths the US has gone through to make its natural beauty accessible to regular folk. Brazil has incredible natural beauty, but 99% of it is completely inaccessible to the public. There aren't even roads to get there. The few parks that the public can get go are only accessible by hiring professional tour groups to take you there. It's really sad. The US is unmatched by anyone in the world in 2 things. 1. Landing people on the moon and returning them safely to the Earth. 2. Putting cheese-like products in spray cans. It is so refreshing to see the positive feedback. Can this feed overwhelm the negative feedback about what's happening in America? I haven't been this proud of where I live in a while because of all the negative shit that fills most of the space, but then I see feeds like this that show how fucking awesome it is to be living here in America during this day and time. Truly grateful. I'm proud to be an American. I have to remind myself sometimes that people, even in 2024, will sell every possession they have to move to the United States to start a new and better life. We are the definition of first world problems. I'm also a very proud American who hates my government, and I think it is important to separate our country and culture from the corrupt fucks in Washington, D.C. As a European, my answer to this is stand-up comedy. Male, female, white, black, whatever you mention, America has just the most incredible people in the world of stand-up. I feel it genuinely is America's true art form. It's the best part of you. As culture for me. Jazz is America's true art form, but yeah, our stand-up comedy is head and shoulders above anywhere else. Police the world's oceans so global trade can occur, benefiting every country that wishes to participate. So fucking proud of this. We got plenty of problems, but our Navy is unmatched. The logistics of it alone are mind-boggling. Second chances. A lot of our most successful people bounced back from failure. In East Asia, business failures typically don't get second chances, so you can't really learn from failure. You either have to start off with all the wisdom that others learned from having tried and failed, or you have to be really lucky. This sort of culture around business makes entrepreneurs risk-averse compared to the US, so the US is also better for risk-taking in new business concepts and models in a way that many other cultures are not. I tried to live the dream. I tried to have a job, a girlfriend, another job, and I failed. But the good thing about the American dream is that you can just go to sleep and try it all again the next night. Michael Scott. Armed Forces. This sounds like a brag, but seriously, the entirety of the United States military is an exercise in fuck around and find out. When in doubt, research the Ohio-class nuclear submarine and realize there are more than 10 of those out there where nobody knows. The most impressive aspect of the military, in a conventional sense, is its logistics. From top to bottom, them can move men, warheads, food, and caffeine better than anything the world has ever seen. They can literally put a Burger King anywhere in the world in 48 hours. Suburban luxury. If you've got a nice income, you'll basically live like a king in some gaudy house with gaudy cars in a manicured suburban city. There's homelessness in the inner cities, but the burbs in the nicer metro regions are luxurious as hell. I don't think there's any place on the planet with as vast as the luxury suburbs spread in the US. Sporting events. You ever been to an NFL game on Veterans Day? I went last November. Maybe it was the beer, or the F-18s, or both, but I sure felt like hollering in America. At the end of the anthem, the game hadn't even kicked off and I was fired up. What a great time that was. Edit. To clarify, I am not American. Thanks for watching. Share your stories in the comments.